All right, welcome back to the stream. Today we're going to continue to explore what deck I'm going to play at the next PQ. So the PQ will be on in 1 week's time. I'm choosing from 4 decks. We tried Ray Data Vault the other night. It's already been eliminated. If you can notice by the thumbnail, it's now grayed out. Tonight we're going to try our old favorite, which is Yoda Red. Yoda Red is a deck that I won the last Sydney PQ this set with. So let's see if it's got any legs. The other two in contention are Thrawn and Poe as well. So I've made some changes to the decks. I'm making some experimental changes at the moment, testing out. So if you notice the deck here, it is linked it down in the description. The daughter is in place for Poe. I'm finding a lot more space decks at the moment, and the daughter has come in a lot more clutch than what Poe would have been. That ability to restore 2 each time your base gets attacked by using the Force. The other change is the X-Wings are out. These are the ones that draw a card, and Disabled Fang Fighter is in, disabling, and also a Bombing Run. As I said, a lot more space decks out there. Haven't really needed the card draw as much. So let's see how these changes go. Hopefully it hasn't made the deck worse. But let's see what we get mashed up into. So same deal as always, 10 games straight. And we record the score up in the upper right-hand corner. First up, we've got a Captain Rex. So I'm probably glad that the Bombing Run is in the deck at the moment. That's not a great hand. You're really after a Force unit to start with. Constructed Sabers can only go on Force units, unlike the Jedi Lightsaber. So let's mulligan. Okay, so not ideal at all. So let's get rid of the Hammerhead. And let's get rid of the daughter, because we're probably going to play the Bombing Run on the 5 resource turn. So this is not what we want to see. We don't want to see Kaz. But we do have an open fire, which is very handy in this situation. All right, we're going to have to get rid of the Ray because we want to keep that Yaddle. All right, let's fire into that Maz Kanata. All right, let's draw a card. I don't mind the Night Sister Warrior a 4-card draw. But I definitely want to keep that Bombing Run, so let's just put that on the bottom. And then let's just claim, because we don't want to run our Owen Lars in that's just going to get died to... it's just going to die to Obi-Wan there. So Captain Rex, normally it comes in the green flavor rather than the green yellow. All right, so let's just hit base for 0. We can play a Yaddle and we can Force Throw. The Almighty Hope might come in clutch at a certain point. We really want to save this Bombing Run for when... well, that's annoying, that card there. We want to save the Bombing Run for when Captain Rex deploys. All right, so actually don't mind a Luke here because we do have the Almighty Hope. The other options for us would be a Night Sister Warrior to play a Night Sister down here as well. But I think we are going to Force Throw at least. Let's keep the Luke. We'll Force Throw our opponent here. I want to put as much damage as we can on this Yularen. Alright, so we may as well just keep the damage off here. Alright, 3PO, normally good, but not good in this scenario. A Chirrut is very good. And normally Ki-Adi-Mundi is very good, but we don't really need the card draw in this game here. We want to put some damage on this Yularen here. Let's hit Yularen. We'll gain the force and a restore. If he attacks Yaddle here, he doesn't attack Yaddle. Let's put Chirrut out. Let's pass. I don't think... let's pass. Let's see if he claims or attacks here. Alright, so let's claim. He doesn't have the unity of purpose. Well, it would cost 7, so... in this deck. Alright. We'll get rid of... we'll get rid of the Sage here. Is there something... so we can clear pretty much the entire board off with the... just depends if that Maz grows, which I don't think it will. So let's hit into the Rex here. One of the benefits of this recent changes that I've made to the deck is having Bombing Run in the main, which is certainly going to wreck our opponent's day here. Alright, so let's draw. Okay, the Daughter is good. I don't think we need Your Mighty Hope anymore. And then we'll pass. So we're now at the stage where we do have... we don't need the Ray. We do have plenty of options now. We've got Yoda coming out, so this game should be well in hand now. I think I'll just deploy Yoda. We'll trigger. We'll kill the Porg. Okay, there's no reason to force throw at the moment. Let's just get the Luke out. Ooh. Hit the Sundari. Alright, we have 2 gigantic units out at the moment, so... okay. Alright, we start off with 1-0, playing against a Rex deck that... normally you see the other one, the Unity Purpose Rex, because they run double green. But obviously our opponent was trying something with the cunning aspect there.
Hello there.
Okay, so this is kind of what I've been seeing on the ladder a lot, is these space decks, whether it's Poe, whether it's Luke, even Wedge, I've seen a few times. So the Fang Fighter is a reason why it's now in the deck, so let's keep that. And then, I know it's odd, but I'll get rid of the Owen. So C-3PO is an obvious cull. Get rid of the Owen because I can play 3PO first. And I'm going to call... I think with the number of 3s that were in my hand to start with. No, 2. So we can call 3. So this deck has a majority of 3s. We've made it 1 less weaker. So it's like 12 out of the 50. Yeah, so and the other one is like 10 or 11 2s. But I had drawn a couple of 2s. That's why I didn't think too much about that one. That it was a toss-up between the 2. So always call 3 or sometimes 2, depending on what cards have come out. We have got the Fang Fighter for our opponent's leader deploy. It's quite effective with Vonreg. Alright, so Victor Leader is a little bit of a problem. So I think we hit Victor Leader. We hit open fire on the Victor Leader. We can then put Ray on top and then hit with C-3PO to have a full ball clear here. You can already see some of the changes that I've made to the deck to try and make it stronger into this, what I call a sort of space meta that's certainly appearing on Karabast at the moment. Okay, so I do like the Force. The bombing run's good, but so is the Concorde. Like, everything here is pretty strong. I don't think he's going to go super wide. So we can probably get rid of the bombing run. We can kind of control how much units he has with this kind of hand here. We've got Force Throws, we've got Concords, we've got Fang Fighters. We've got everything here. The Night Sister with the Force Throw can even help us to draw another card with Rey if we need to, or we can simply just play the Concord. Yeah, so he's going to bring Vonreg out here. So I'm going to hit, we'll call 3. It's a 3. We've got a card draw. A lot of people in their Yoda decks have cut the 3PO, but I actually think the 3PO is still super effective. And if you notice in my list now that I've also been able to cut the Resistance X-Wings to the side. And that's partly because 3PO is still in the deck. I find I was still using 3PO quite a lot. Okay, so he's done something different here than what we expected. So I think we can play a Night Sister Warrior and then Force Throw to reduce his hand. I thought he might have deployed yeah, so he's going to deploy up here. So we can Force Throw ourselves or our opponent here. If we Force Throw ourselves and hit the TIE Interceptor, and then we can break the off the Vonreg with the Fang Fighter. So let's Force Throw. We'll take out that Interceptor. We'll rotate with our card draw and then pass. So we can get rid of the Vonreg. We won't be able to cycle until we kill a unit. We're in a pretty decent spot at the moment, hopefully. So as I said at the start of the stream, we are going through 4 decks to see what I'm going to play at the next PQ. These are the 4 decks that I'm probably comfortable with at the moment. Rey ended up being a disaster the other night. So let's see how we go with Yoda tonight. Yeah, that Rey deck was... I was winning so many times with that Rey deck, and then all of a sudden I wasn't. So like when I played that that series, it was rough. We had some very hard matchups. A couple of Palp Yellows, which are quite tough. All right, so we've got the Daughter as well. We've got quite a few Force units down on the ground. He has the 5.5 MC-30 assault frigate that Clint from the Bad Dispatch has named Space Wrecker. Okay. Well, I think we can just rivals the frigate here. Because next turn we're going to be able to get rid of the Victor Leader with Yoda's flip. He's already used his leader deploy. Right, let's draw. We'll put the Yoda back on top. That will give us a draw with 3PO. You can use the Fang Fighter to take out the TIE Fighter or his Fang Fighter. So I think we're okay with that. So we are playing against Jabba's Rancor here, so he's playing Vonreg though. We aren't seeing the Jabba's Rancor handler at all, which seems like a missed opportunity. I'm sure that's where he started and he realized that that deck wasn't any good. We've got the Concords. So the Concords early in this set were put into Yoda Red. A lot of people weren't running them. They were going pretty much 3 up on like Resistance X-Wings and that. But I just feel a lot more comfortable running these Concords. And also running the Daughter. The Daughter has been such a good card since I added it in for Poe. In certain matchups, not as good, but in a lot of matchups of what I'm seeing, it's more beneficial than the Poe. All right, have we put him in a bit of a bind here? Yeah, so he's going to be able to kill the Interceptor. All right, I think I draw because I want to flip to do... I want to kill that. So let's draw. Got another Concord Dawn Interceptor here. All right, so let's flip, or let's Yoda cycle. Let's put Kiadi-Mundi on top. We need to get rid of this Clone Combat Squadron because we can take 2, but we don't want to take. We don't want to take 6 at a time here. All right, so run all our units in. We will call. If you look at your discard and you see how many 3s, how many 2s, can't give you a bit of an idea. I think we've drawn more 2s. So we choose a 3, but we lucked out that time. We won't need to cheer it since most of our opponents now fight in space. We can even drop a Daughter here. And a Daughter and a Concord. Arm to the teeth. Okay. Well, we could just... Yeah, let's just keep pushing. I think we've got enough for lethal on board anyway. And we've got Luke that can come out and kill that TIE fighter. If he puts the arm to the teeth damage on it. Alright, so he plays outflank, attack with 2 units. That's fine. I'll take us to 16. We have another 5 damage on board, so he has to be able to deal with that. Or we'll get our second victory. Some of our new cards coming in clutch. The Disabling Fang Fighters. Brought in also the Daughter. Alright, so we moved to 2-0. Looking a lot better than our friend Ray from the other night. For those that are just joining, we are looking at what deck to take to the next PQ. This is the Yoda Red. There's a couple of changes because I'm seeing, especially in what's called the Carabas meta, I am seeing a lot more space decks, a lot more. There's Vonregs, the Wedge, the Poe, the Luke, the Bobas. So I've made some adjustments. So the adjustments are Resistance X-Wings out, Disabling in, the Daughter replaces the Poe, and also a Bombing Run replaces a Resistance X-Wing. All right.
Hello there.
Move to 2-0, and here we go, another space deck. So we've had 1 Captain Rex, 1 Vonreg space, and now a Boba Fett space. This is a terrible hand to start with. So we'll mulligan that. You want a Force unit. Ideally, you want something like Yaddle. Yaddle is a great card versus Boba. We had no play for the first 2 turns. This actually happened at the PQ that I won. I went into the top 8 and I played a hard 2 blue, which is kind of like a mirror. I won the first game quite easily. The second game, I won. I didn't have a play for the first 2 turns. It was horrendous. Yeah. All right, so we want to start with a Force unit. We've got Concords and we've got the Open Fire. So let's get rid of the Luke. We get rid of this 3PO or the Owen here. That's tough to say. I kind of like the Owen, I think. It does the same thing as a 3PO. It's going to absorb 3 damage. But it's also going to draw us a card as well. So the trick with Boba Fett is we need to reduce a lot of the damage that comes in. We have a plan for the Boba flip. So we have to either, yeah, this is unfortunate, this type of start. Yeah, that is unfortunate, that start. So it's like, do you play or do you take the extra damage? Because it does an extra 3 damage to us. Because I could open fire it, but then I actually don't know if open fire is, I want to save open fire for like a fire spray. So he got having initiative and having pride is the best start that Boba can have against any opponent. All right, so we've got our Yaddle, so that is good. We've got our interceptors. All right, so he's going to attack our unit. So we can take 1 first and then 1 on base. Okay, all right, so let's play Yaddle back down. You'll likely play something in space, or you might open fire. Okay, so we can claim here. Not ideal, some of the plays, but the pride start is so good against us. All right, so let's draw. Okay, so it's a Yoda. So he's likely to play either an assault frigate or fire spray here. So we're going to have 4 resources. So let's put the Night Sister Warrior on bottom. Yeah, so that is not one that we wanted to see. So let's play Yoda out and Owen. Constructed lightsaber is decent, but we kind of need some way to block the Boba here. Our worst nightmare here is if he deploys, kills, and then we deploy something like a interceptors, but he has a yeah. All right, so he's going to hit base. We will draw. We will trigger, which is good. That's a good trigger. Because we don't want to put our Concords down here. If we put the Concords, he deploys Boba out and kills it. So let's just hit for base for 2. It's not a bad spot because if he deploys Boba down to the ground here. I think we can draw. I mean, the daughter is quite good here. Let's put Ray on top. So if he kills Owen, we'll at least get a ping here. All right, so I think we play Yaddle. And we can... Yeah. We'll play the interceptors out there to block the Dorian. All right, we're at 6. We have got the hammerhead. Would be nice if we had a... All right, so he's going to barrage. All right, well, I think we just play the Concords out again. Yeah. All right, so he does 1 there. We attack. Right, we're one off that gunship, unfortunately. Well, we've got it. How good is Ray? How good is Ray in this deck to draw it like that? Because now we can trigger and we can actually kill that gunship with our open fire. So that was super lucky on our side of things there, that things fell like that. Ray is such a I tell you what, I'm glad I got 3 of the Galactic Championship Rays, because I think that card is going to be around for quite a while. All right, so he's targeting Owen, which is rude. All right, so we can't do 1 damage back at all, so let's just take it on Owen. Right, so we can play Luke, and I think we can just Luke straight back out here. And the reason I want to do that is that likely he might have a planetary bombardment. And if he has that, okay. That in itself is a bit of a problem, because we have no current answer for that. If I flip, yeah, I'm going to have to claim here. Unfortunately, I'll have to hit for 6. It's really weird that we haven't hit a anything to deal with that. All right, I think I'm just going to have to flip here, because if he has a planetary bombardment, we're just cooked. And we did. There's our fell. Yeah, we got really unlucky on that one. Not to have something that we could force throw. That was tough breaks. I thought we had that game under control, but it's the way it goes sometimes. It's
Hello there.
I think we outplayed him through the start and the middle of the game, and it's like having an unanswered Crate Dragon. The next card on the top of my deck was a Fell the Dragon. So that is a rough break. All right, so let's maximize our card draw early here. Do we need a You're My Only Hope? I don't think so, because we're playing blue. Let's keep our crate for the end of the game. But yeah, that was a rough break, that one. Even if we had not played, even if we not played Luke, I was worried about the bombardment. So maybe I should have just deployed, and then I would have had something to -6/-6 the unit there. So I think maybe I'm pretty sure I misplayed that one. All right, I'm going to run in a Krennic, and the reason is I don't want him to no glory these cards here. We want to get our card draw going. We have to be careful with the when defeated units here. So let's just put that on the bottom and play our Yoda. All right, we don't need Yaddle. So Thrawn is kind of a tough match for Yoda sometimes, especially in the green variant with the Vaders and that. The red, you got to watch out for things like the Ruthless Raiders. But other than that, we should be okay. So let's kill the Krennic. That'll stop him doing these early deploys. We can draw with Kiadi. Let's put the Yaddle on the bottom. And we can draw up here. All right, that's fine. We'll trigger. Take his Night Sister. You'll get to draw 2 cards, which is what Thrawn does. And then we'll draw another 2 cards. All right, so we'll claim a Force Throw would be great here. Open fire is not too bad. Because what we can do is open fire the brute. Do we want to open fire the brute, or do we want to hit the platform there? Maybe the platform. Let's open fire the brute, because we're going to be able to kill the platform with 3PO. All right, let's gain the force while we can. So we're sitting at 2-1. Okay, I think we're okay with that. No glory on that. I think we're okay. All right, let's put that on top. He's going to be able to do 6 damage to us, but we'll have cleared his board. We'll be sitting on quite a lot of cards here. We'll take 3 on C3PO and then 3 on base. All right. What do we got? Yoda. We've got a couple of fells. We've got a... Let's start there. You have to be careful playing Yoda once you get after a certain point against these decks here. All right, so I can play the daughter, and then I can force throw him. All right, it's a 3. We'll take it on base. We'll be able to heal too. One there, and then 2 to base. We'll trigger. We'll put Ray on top. All right, so we just claim here, so that's fine. One of our new additions is the daughter. We've seen her save a few life already. So let's take out this Magma Guard. If he plays a Ruthless Raider, we can heal base. We can then Rivals Fall the Thrawn. And we can deploy Yoda to kill the Ruthless Raider there. We'll have to put the crate on top, unfortunately. We'll deploy, and he's only going to get 1 trigger because we killed Thrawn that round. And he's down to 1 card. All right, so 3PO, not as good once Yoda's deployed. You kind of lose that flipping ability. It feels like everyone is just playing this card at the moment. Like, I think Clint had it in his Sabine deck, which was interesting. Okay. Let's draw some cards. All right, so let's get some heal going with Yoda. So Yoda's going to be able to heal 4, and then we've got Owen healing 2. We have a total of 6 restore on the board at the moment. Okay, he's going to run into Yoda. Take 1 on the board there. He's probably got a Ruthless Raider, so let's hit with Yoda first. All these indirect damage decks, it's just like constant like dialogues and things like that get a little bit annoying from time to time because you constantly like click, click. Okay, so let's hammerhead that one. And we'll kill the brute as well while we're there. No need to resource anything at all. So yeah, so it'll be interesting to watch that that Boba game back. I think I played it correctly until that very last step, where we got done by unanswered Devastator. It happens though. Just got to try and not do it in a tournament setting. All right, so we've got Yaddle to start with. We don't have much else though. All right, we've got a Kiadi, so I think we have to sort of back ourselves a little bit. The rival's very important in this matchup, but yeah, it can be quite tough, this one. Maybe hopefully we get some discards going with Force throws. It's a kind of match that I would bring in Pillagers for. The Fangs potentially go. The Resistance X wings come in. Bobbing Run Gorn, that type of stuff. So we're still at the sad situation where we do not have any more Yodas that have won PQs. This is a Force Luke, so hopefully one wins one this weekend. There's certainly been, at least in the running, like people trying to win with it. And there are quite a few that have made top 8s, but to be honest, there's a lot of luck that goes into winning a PQ. Okay, so we have to hit the consular. We just, you can't have that consular like stick around. All right, let's make him discard. He should have attacked maybe the consular first, because it would have given him the Force token, and now he doesn't have the Force token. Hopefully we draw a 2-drop here. I wonder where Yoda's ability rates in the spectrum of all of the leaders out there, because I think his ability is very good. We've actually lost our second Fell the Dragon here, so we're going to have to defeat units, minions and that with our own minions or Force throws, because you can see we only run 2 Fells and we run 2 rivals. And I think, yeah, we have lost 1 Fell, 2 Fells, so we've got 1 rival in hand and 1 left in the deck. All right, so let's draw. Right, so he's going to shield up. So I think I'm just going to claim here, because I want to run Yaddle into the Obi-Wan to start with. And we do have a Your Mighty Hope into a Luke this turn. So we can kind of jump the queue a little bit here. You may drop down, if I'm guessing, a Chirrut. Seems to be a deck that's focused around playing Sentinels and shielding them, which is a good strategy for the set 1 Luke. All right, General's Blade. Okay, well, I'm sorry, but I will have to Force throw. That we can't have the General's Blade going around like that. especially on an Obi-Wan that's Sentinel when they play units. Like you can't have that. We actually do not have anything to play unless Yoda's ability serves us up something nice. The other two decks in the elimination, Yoda, we've got Thrawn and Poe. All right, so let's draw a card. Let's put the Luke on bottom. All right, let's see Your Mighty Hope what we come out with. Okay, that's fine. A Night Sister Warrior, we'll take that. We'll get rid of the Yaddle. Resource that that Concord Dawn Interceptor. We do have our answer for Luke here. And that answer is the Rival's Fall. It's always important against these leaders that cause problems, like the Boba, the Luke, the Vader, and that have some plan for it, whether it's force throwing a Crate Dragon or it's Rival's Fall. Other reason why I've gone to 2 Rival's Falls in this deck. Let me see. I think we can put the Saber in the bottom there. At least he can't shield that. All right, we'll turn on the Force and hit for 2. Get rid of the other 3PO there. We've yet to, I've been waiting to hit a CAD. So I've got some videos. I've got one about beating Quinlan. I've got one coming for beating Control. I've got the CAD stuff ready. I've got one game of CAD that I can sort of commentate. I'm just waiting to play a CAD online. Like, I just do not seem to be hitting them very often at the moment. All right, let's hit Ayla so we can draw some cards. And also activate the Yoda flip. All right, Tranquility returns a card. He returned Obi-Wan Kenobi, which is a Republic card. All right, so let's open fire on Ayla first. We're going to be able to kill the Tranquility by putting Luke on top and deploying Yoda. But let's see what gets served up. So that's pretty cool. We hit a Ray. All right, we need a 7 and above, so we'll put the Luke on top. Deploy Yoda, trigger, kill the Tranquility, and there we have it. We're in a pretty commanding position at the moment. Actually, like the Sage, in case I do put a Saber on the Sage, it becomes a 4/5 Sentinel with a shield. So just looking how many PQs are on this weekend. Been updated. Yeah, it looks like 1, 2, 3. There's another 8. All right, so Yoda's going to come out and do 2 damage. Okay, we can do 6, 10 to it. Yeah, so we can put the Saber on our Yoda. He doesn't have the 1 force to be able to shield it, but we will have to kill it. Okay, and then we can just play the Yoda out and the Secretive Sage. So it looks like there's a Dallas, Texas one. It's 128 players. That one looks like it will be interesting to see the results coming out of that one. It looks like there's one that's in Durham as well, 120 people. That looks cool as well. a couple of very big PQs. The one that I'll be attending the weekend after, so in a weekend's time, I think it's already sold 55 plus at the moment, so it's quite a decent size for an Australian PQ. So evaluating some of our changes. I think the daughter's been pretty decent so far. Let's just keep pushing here. He shields a bright hope. We're okay with that. There's not much going on. Probably could have played the Crate Dragon there. There we go. All right, let's just drop the crate. All right, so we can claim here. That allows us to just put 10 straight on base because the Obi-Wan won't have Sentinel. That'll take him to 19, and he still has to deal with Crate Dragon. All right, so he's going to play forces with me. Just hit it straight onto base there. Hit Yoda for another 2. He has to deal with the Crate Dragon. He's only got 3 health left, so I don't know what tricks he's got left here. We're fully open on mana too. I'm not sure what's left, so we should move to 4-1. Really, if I didn't mess up against that Boba, maybe we could have been 5-0. I'd have deployed Yoda, and then when he played the Devastator, I deployed Luke. That 6 health on those Devastator is not a mistake that the designers made. Like, they want cards like Luke and that to be able to interact with a card that powerful. Okay, like, it's not great because we're not interacting with anything in space. Like, we can, of course, we can go Sage, Yoda, potentially like Lars or Daughter eventually. But I would want like a Force Throw or just something to interact. So Force Throw is good. We won't need to cheer it. Probably don't need the Sage as well. We'll keep the Fell for if he loads up like a Falcon or something like that. All right, so we'll claim. He's going to jam communications. All right, so array. Is array still good? Probably not at this stage. Let's get the Force. We want our bombing run. Yep. Definitely want our bombing run. Okay, he's going to play Boshek. We'll play another Night Sister Warrior. We want open fire would be really good. All right, so let's claim. All right, the Dawn Interceptors. Is that good? Oh, I don't know why I got rid of Owen there. It probably should have been the Fell. Yeah, that's a mistake. The trouble is with the fighter, he would just hit into the interceptors. So let's see if we can get our bombing run here. The problem is, it's like we're not going to be able to interact too much here. All right, even the Hammerhead is not great here. We're cycling, trying to hit that bombing run. Sad, my Wi-Fi has been bad all day. Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that. All things fade. Like for someone that lives in Australia, where our internet was third world for such a long time, it is sorry to hear that. I actually think if I had have had the if I'd had the Wi-Fi that I have now, I actually probably would have been a decent Hearthstone streamer at the time. But again, one of these matchups here where we just not getting anything to go sort of break our way too much here. Like we really need you really need a bombing run or something here because he's going to be able to basically have free run. Let's play Night Sister Warrior. All right, and I think now we can just play a Concord. He's probably got a Falcon coming in. There we go. He'll deploy Han onto it. All right, we'll draw. Put the Sage on the bottom. Yeah. All right, the daughter. Does the daughter do anything for us? Maybe. Because if we drop the daughter, what's better? Disabling the Fang, disabling the Han, dropping the daughter. Let's do the daughter here. But this is really the bane of the Yoda decks, is that you need some way to interact with space. All right, let's heal again. Again, not great. Heal again when they attack. Yeah, there we go. Again, no bombing run. It is in main, but we just didn't get what we needed. Yeah, next weekend is another PQ, and that's what I'm trying to do is work out what kind of deck that I'm going to take to that one. Okay, so yeah, that was a rough break, that last one. But if you look on the SWU base, it's not a friendly matchup, that one, in terms of I think the Ray is like so important though. We'll go there. The Ray's so important, and I would have preferred like a Night Sister or anything here to try and get moving. Again, we've got a Fang Fighter. Let's put the Ray away. That would have been the Resistance X-Wing, so having something that drew a card would have been much better. Let's just play the Fang for now. There's one advantage we have in this matchup is the Ray. He does not have the Ray, so we can hit here. Is Force Throw any good? All things fade, trying to blow Bo-Katan Blue, Mandalorian's deck. Managed pretty well against Kira and Vonreg. Yeah, it can be good, that deck. It's just, yeah, it's probably like a few tiers down on let's get rid of the Force Throw on the competitive decks and that. Like if you get the right cards, and it's definitely fine. Yeah, this will be a tough matchup. Like he's got the card draw and that we haven't got. I could put the hammerhead on top, or I could put the ray on top. Let's put the hammerhead on top. It's only going to do 2, but it's going to force him to start dealing with quite a big space unit. Let's play it here first. We want to soak up his fells because one advantage we've got in this matchup is the giant crate dragons. All right, I kind of want to keep drawing, and I kind of want to like keep pushing the space area, which is we've got a hammerhead coming out next turn. So you found the trouble with no big hitters. Yeah, we'll just have to chip away. Yeah, there needs to be some more big blue like cards. Because at the moment we've got Crate Dragon. We know that's going to go away at the start of next year. So let's kill that Kiadi before it causes too many troubles. All right, we'll keep pushing here. He's on his Yoda's flip turn. We haven't drawn too many cards. Just keep that on top for now. Another fell. All right, well, Ray's going to have to go away now. We would have liked the Rivals Fall or something here. Yeah, the Mythosaur, yeah, it's got... The problem with the Mythosaur, you play it, and it's got no direct impact on the game. Like, it is a big unit. It's kind of like Bendu. Until the following turn, when you can attack with it, is the only time that it actually does anything, so... So we do have another fell still, and we're just playing this sort of waiting game with our opponent here. He's probably going to need something to die to do the Yoda flip. Right, he's going to get a heal here. We'll hit his base for another 5. We'll get our Yoda flip next turn, which hopefully we can clean up that itinerant warrior. All right, 3PO. All right, I don't want to kill anything. Let's play the Night Sister Warrior. I don't want it to have him set the hand up here. Hopefully he doesn't hit this hammerhead. Yeah, he high rolled on that one. Let's put it that way. He high rolled. Let's kill the 3PO. All right, we'll claim. Well, that's a good draw to start. Can at least take out the Yoda here. Azillo Beast as well, same issues. Yep. It's a lot of people have been saying for a long time that they need. Well, that's an interesting play because the Yoda flip will be able to take out that Yoda. I'm just going to take the shield off here. All right. Put the hammerhead on top. He should have attacked with the other one there. I'm going to kill the itinerant warrior and then mop up Yoda at the same time. Whereas if he had done it the other way, it would have been a bit more trickier. Right, we do have 2 Kiadi-Mundis, so that we are able to get the draw engine going, get some cards back in our hand. And we do have a Fell, which is pretty handy. But having said that, you will have U-Wings, you'll have a whole bunch of cards ready to go. All right, let's draw some cards. All right, Force Throw is very good. If we place something out here, we will Force Throw. All right, he's going to claim initiative. Let's Force Throw one of his cards. We'll just keep pushing here. We can also drop down a itinerant warrior. Yeah, blue, in terms of big match enders, needs some more support. Blue Villainies had Avenger set 1, that's going to rotate. Other than that, there's been not many set enders, like not many game enders. And that's why people have issues playing into the slow grindy controls, because you get through to the end, but there's no sort of big finishes other than things like Avenger. So there needs more of those potentially in the set. All right, so, well, okay, he probably claimed there, but I don't know what else he had in his hand, so we kind of had to play a unit there. All right, we'll claim, and we'll just run Kiadi-Mundi in. So in the end, that one wasn't too bad. All right, so we moved to 5-2. Our losses being to a Boba Data Vault and a Han 4 Tarkin Town, which we are kind of weak into. If we had drawn a bombing run, which we've now added to the main, could have been a different story on that one. He had a jam communications early too, which kind of messed our Force Throw play up. Isn't there an Annihilator ship for Blue Villainy? Yeah, but it's at like, what, 11, 12 resources. It is a very good game ender, but it's, again, Blue Villainy. What is there for Blue Heroic in that spot? Like, people would like to play double Blue Yoda and things like that, but it's just not, it's not possible at the moment. All right, do we even need rivals? All right, let's start there. We want to chip away with as much damage as we can. Unfortunately, he will kill that Yaddle because the Desperado Commando will -2/-2 on the Yaddle. But the positive thing is we can draw, we can put Ray on top, and we can 3PO Owen. There we go. So that worked out pretty well in our favor, that one. You can do a -1/-1, but it only lasts the phase. But I feel like there's always been heroics issues. Yeah. Yeah, it would be nice to play blue control heroic, but unfortunately there's not really the card support for that at the moment. There's no, like, what do you got? They're starting to print cards like Nebula Ignition will be around for a while, but you know, especially when Super Laser Blast goes, it's going to be interesting to see if they actually replace that at all. Okay, so we'll take he's going to take the Owen, so we'll take a Luke. We'll flip, we'll put Ray on top. We will continue to nickel and dime our opponent here. One of the ways that you beat control, because they have limited heal options in some of these decks, especially Thrawn here. I'll play a turret out as well. Normally the Saber's not good into the into this matchup. The good guys just aren't that ruthless. That's probably true. Right, we'll get rid of the 3PO. We'll run the turret in so we can turn the Force on. We'll flip a card. We'll put Luke on top. And we'll just get him out. We'll play 5 less and then pass. Double sabers. I think we need double sabers. Right, so you had to deal with Luke there. You had to spend a rival's fall. We can hit whatever he plays out here for 5. So with the hammerhead. And we've got to expect the Shin Flurry Vader in this game too. All right, let's draw. We'll put the saber on the bottom. All right, we'll get rid of one Night Sister. Have to be careful about playing these when defeated ones into Thrawn in the later stages of the game because of no glory. He'll just take it and draw 2 cards. So far, we're doing better than what we did with Rey. Probably should be 6-1 rather than 5-2. But yeah, I don't think we're winning that Han game at all. All right, he's probably going to mill us here. Or he's going to heal or mill. So he chooses option 1 to defeat, and then he's going to mill. So we just keep pushing the pressure on him here. We'll flip. We'll put Night Sister Warrior on bottom, and we'll play a Yaddle and a Rey, and then just pass. We're just going to keep pushing here. If he has a Super Laser Blast, there we go. We'll deploy Yoda this turn. The Interceptor's on the bottom. Kind of wish I had the Sabers here because the Sabers would have put in a little bit of work there. I'm going to force our opponent twice in case he has a Shin Flurry Vader. Just going to trim his hand down a bit here. Pass. Hit him again. Okay, there's the no glory that we were talking about. All right, we'll drop the Sage. We've got 9, so we can go Luke and a unit. At this stage, he has to deal with it. Deal with what we've got on board. Not exactly lethal. All right, we'll take the Yoda. Dying, the Yoda unit. All right, he's going to have to claim here. We'll put the Night Sister Warrior down. So again, this is emblematic about how you beat some of these control. Don't overcommit to the board. And nickel and dime as much damage as you can. Yeah. And then you've got your big crates to sort of lock the game out. I think that's how you spell Kieran. Is that how you spell Kieran? So Kieran will be at the Canberra PQ.
Hello there.
I still remember our first match. It was at I think Onyx number 2, and all right. So we're gonna best of 3. So let's work out what we need to take out. We need to take out those. Bring the X-Wings in as well. Bring in the extra crate. Let's take out the daughter. All right, let's go with that. Yeah, I played Kieran, and he, I was on Yoda Green. It was the one I won with Yoda Endless Legions. And I played the first game against Iden Tarkentown. We actually had a draw. I got Endless Legion out both games, but I didn't realize he had Annihilators in his deck first match, and I made some mistakes there. So let's keep bombing run, and generally has a lot. Let's not the pillage. Yeah, and I had the Iden straight up, and the Iden we had a draw. And then second game I played Kieran, and Kieran was on the Owen's good here as well. I need something to play out. Maybe I have to lose a crate. He was on boss green, and he was able to. He absolutely smashed me with boss green, just crate dragons and devastators and a whole bunch of stuff, and it was a brutal match. And from then on, I didn't lose a match that tournament, and I just always remember that sort of rough start that I had. In that tournament, but it worked out in the end, which was being able to go through and take out that second Onyx one. Actually won the first Onyx with Ray Tarkentown back in set 2. All right, so we need the force here. We grab some force. He's had a much better start this game. We know that he has cards like the Anakin in that as well, and Power of the Dark Side as well. But we've got protection with the Owen here. Have to be careful what he puts in his graveyard here, because we know he does have Anakin. We know I think he had a Rival's Fall as well. All right. Okay, well, we'll take the Ray. The Ray will be able to kill the Starfighter. Yeah, so from then on, I didn't lose a match, which was the definition of what's called a submarine in tournaments. I kind of regretted not having the saber last time, so let's hold on to it for a while. Let's hit his base here for 6. Restore some, and see what he's going to do against this Luke. He may Anakin. No, he's going to Thrawn. All right, so let's rivals that Thrawn. Looks like I think his plan was to put Thrawn out, then play Anakin to -3 Luke. Okay, he's got the run here. All right, now we'll put the saber on the bottom. Kind of have to deal with that here. I would say potentially he has the Chimera here, which if he does is not too bad. It kills the Luke, but then we can open fire and then do a Yoda deploy to tidy up the Chimera. Well, one thing I do like about this deck is just got so much utility in terms of, wow, we can pillage here. Like, we haven't seen Night Sisters and that from him. All right, let's... Do we just deploy? Like, he'll double it. No, I think we open fire. We'll cycle with Yoda. Let's put Ray on the bottom. Might as well deploy and then pass, and we'll... He's in top deck mode here. So let's see how he goes. So yes, that tournament was the Endless Legions one. So if you're on the homepage of the Inferno 5 YouTube, there's a playlist now called Winner's Circle, and the Yoda Green tournament winner is the one for yeah, the tournament winner. There's a Yoda Green tournament winner. So it was probably a tournament. I would say the first one was 56 players. The one I won with Ray Tarkentown. Okay, so yes. Right, we kind of need some card draw here. Let's put the Kiadi money on the bottom. He only has one card, so let's force throw that card. And then let's just put a hammerhead out for now. I don't want to give him a Yoda, because if he has a no glory, it's a way you can sort of catch up in cards. But yeah, that one, the Yoda Green one's probably about 45, 50 player tournament, and it was quite a fun tournament, that one. All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay, we still don't have... I still don't have the Force, unfortunately, but we can play Yoda out. We'll just put that on the bottom. Kind of messed up the sequencing a little bit there, but I think this game is mostly over. All right, so you can have the Yoda. We'll draw. We'll hit the base. Right, he sort of has to... Well, hang on. He's got 3 here. Yeah, well, he can't kill us. I didn't really... He can get me to 28. Yeah, because I could have killed the Avenger, but I wasn't really paying attention there. I should have just felled it when it came in. Yep. All right, so we moved to 7-2, so that means we've got one more game. So already much, much better than our Ray Data Vault the other day. So one of the decks that I'm going to be testing in the next couple of nights is the Thrawn Data Vault. Back to that. So one of the decks that I nearly took to Worlds to see if that has been improved. I've seen a lot of people have been putting Spark of Hope into that deck, and I want to try it out. So Spark of Hope being heroic, and then just that additional enabler for Anakin. Let's see if that makes a difference in that deck. I can. The Thrawn's one of those cards that's going to get better as the sets come. And as I always say with the on the day, especially this meta at the moment, this meta at the moment is what I would call roulette. And what I mean by that is that depending on what you get matched into is a large percentage of like how well you go. So if you go on a PQ, let's say I take this Yoda deck, and I'm a decent Yoda player, and against majority of the matchups, Quinlan, Cad, Han 2, Anakin, I can go pretty well. But if I match up into Vader Yellow multiple times, Han 4, Tarkin Town, Poe Data Vault. Oh, I don't know why Mulligan there. I'm getting distracted. We'll take out one caddy. If I get matched up into all of those matchups, then yeah, I'm not going to go well on the day. But yeah, if I get all my favorable matchups, you get through to the top 8, and then it's a whole nother tournament once you hit the top 8. Yeah, I shouldn't have. I don't know why I hit the mulligan button. That was a big issue. Hopefully it doesn't bite me too bad. I mean, I kind of got bailed by getting this open fire here. All right, so let's draw. Well, the interceptors can go on the bottom. All right, let's pass. Okay, Yaddle is we're starting to get into the right areas here. So if we can get a Yaddle, have it stick, then that means that we can activate Kiadi Mundi on the turn after, and we've also got the Hammerhead. So top deck means just playing off the 2 draws. Yeah, top deck, yeah, you pick something off the top that you needed. Is what top deck sort of refers to. All right, so let's play Yaddle. You may have, I would put an XP on Chirrut. Okay, so I will force throw myself and kill that Chirrut. Put Owen on the bottom. We are running kind of low on cards. Would like to keep that rivals in case, especially you put something on Obi-Wan. But Kiadi with the force throw is pretty strong too. Just please let us get the force. This is what happens sometimes. If we can't get the force here, it's a problem. This is how you play against force decks. Like, he's done a very good job to keep me off the force. And now finally we can get it. He's put 2 damage into our poor Owen. And having said that, is Owen one of the best cards in the set? Like, in terms of the amount of like impact that it's had, like in how many decks and that it's in. It's in so many of these force decks. Okay, do I just force throw him to start here? Let's Kiadi first. not what we wanted to see. And this is part of the reason why I wanted to keep this Rivals Fall, is because of this. All right, so let's force throw our opponent here. We can put, what, 3 damage on Obi-Wan? And then claim we might be able to hit the... He's going to get a unit that's discounted for 2 here already. Yeah, he took the initiative there. All right, we've got lots of card draw, but we really needed the initiative there to hit Obi-Wan. Yeah, thanks for the game, Kieran. That was fun. Couple of Thrawn yellow games. I was explaining to the people listening in that all right, what have we got? A loot that I was I'm gonna take the Luke here. I am thinking about playing Thrawn Green, Thrawn Data Vault at that PQ. So kind of doing a bunch of testing and that at the moment. So this is the Yoda. Oh, it's out of 4 decks. There's Ray Data Vault. Did that the other night. I am not playing that. Yoda Red. This is this one. Really familiar. So I'm happy with everything there. Thrawn Data Vault and then Poe Data Vault are the other 2. Okay, so Daughter's not great. He doesn't have any force throws, so I think I can just like drop all of these out here. Yeah, so it looks like we're not in a good position, but I think we are at this one. How do I feel about the prospect of using Enticing Reward in the Thrawn Yellow? Most of the time, I think with Thrawn Yellow, I think you should be okay with card draw. If you hit Night Sisters, what else do they have in there? The No Glories to take your opponent's ones. I've never really had too much of an issue with card draw in Thrawn Yellow. Enticing Reward, yeah, but it might come at sacrifice of some other cards and that in your deck though. Okay, what can I hit here? I think I take out the Itinerant Warrior, and then I can Yoda ability to kill this Kelleran too. So I'm just looking at my... I'll have a look on Swoo Competitive and have a look to see what they run in Thrawn Yellow. I know there was one recently that did very well. I think it finished... Yeah, there was one that finished 6th in the Sweden tournament, the 90-player one. Because, yeah, you've got Owen Lars as well, so if you've got Owen... actually, let's just keep hitting base here. If you've got Owen in your deck, that's more card draw. So you've got Owen, you've got Night Sister Warrior. That's all double draws, potentially, for you. I don't think you need... Yeah, feel very bad when you don't hit any legacy runs. Yeah, so that's where you do need the card draw. But I think you want to look at like Night Sister Warrior, Karis, Director Chronic, Owen, kind of like your sort of early plays. I don't know if you use the Genosis Patrol Fighter, but that can be good as well, just for activating when they're dodging lanes. Search Your Feelings made the cut in some early. Search Your Feelings is like cost wise is not great. Like, all right, let's draw that one. We'll put Luke on top. It should be able to clear a bunch of stuff here. Not the entire board, but I think we're in a decent spot there. Okay. Don't need Yaddle. Yeah, so dead draw that totally bricked games. Yeah. Yeah, the one, I'll link the one that I'm talking about. It's worth looking at. Okay. All right, let's hit the Gunji. We'll draw some cards. Right, Itinerant Warrior. Not the best, but let's see if we can draw something with 3PO. All right, that's good. If he puts an XP on the Itinerant Warrior, we'll just fell it. Like, yeah, he doesn't. All right, so we can open fire. We'll Fang Fighter first to kill the experience, and we'll take out the Maz as well. All right, yeah, so if you have a look at that list, there's a bunch of card drawing it. So I don't think you need an enticing reward. All right, let's just hit base here. It also runs the Sun. It runs Shin Hati, the Geonosis Patrol Fighter to like pop your stuff. It also ran Morgan Elsbeth, which I've seen in a few lists. So the Morgan allows you to kill one of your own units too. And then it runs Bamboozles for the enabler for Anakin too. Okay, so he claims initiative. All right, so nothing's died actually. So it's just rivals the Kenobi. We'll draw. We'll put Yoda on top. We'll hit base. We'll say 3. We'll play the Sage. All right, so I don't see how we lose from here. We'll just keep pushing base. Looks a bit more mid-range. My deck is a bit more on the control side. Yeah, the problem playing purely control is that there will be decks that do control better than you. So I'm not sure how much you can go on the control side. It feels like a mid-range deck. What did I put on top? Was it the 4? Yeah. We'll pass. We'll just keep. Here's our crate dragon. That's kind of what I was waiting for, was the crate. Yeah, you had some of the stuff. This one also runs the Sun, which is interesting. General's Blade. All right, so I think we just play crate here. He will be able to kill the Chirrut, but he will, if I hit with the Sage, then he has decisions to make. If we win this one, we'll finish at 8-2. Probably should have been 9-1. All right, let's claim. If I hadn't made that mistake against the Boba, the only clear one we lost was against the Han for Tarkin Town. All right, so he was able to get out of that. We'll just keep pushing here. If he kills the 3PO, yeah. So what we can do, you'd probably play a blue leader here if you can get one. He doesn't, so let's play a Chirrut. And we put Rey on top and then hit base. All right, we say 5. And that should be enough to finish this game off. All right. Okay, so there we go. 8-2. Much better than the other day. So let's keep this deck in the running for PQ. This was the deck that I was talking about. So if we have a look at the visual view, you can see the early turn plays are Karis, Director Krennic, Night Sister Warrior, Owen, and the Onyx Squadron Brute. It has plenty of card draw because of the Night Sister Warrior and the 3 copies of Owen. Beyond that, we've got Shin, the Starfighter. We play Sneak Attack to bring out things like the Legacy run early. And you can also Sneak Attack out the Sun as a finisher. So the Sun gives everything +2 attack if you've got the Force. So it is a great finisher on your opponents. You can bring that out at 6 resources the turn that Thrawn is out as well. So this one is a very mid-range deck. It doesn't run the Avengers and things like that you have in your deck, Kieran. So you might be able to get some ideas for that, but yeah, that's what I would be looking at for a yellow. But boy, do I hate the layout of these deck lists on Melee. Yes, they're not great. But what you can do is, if you want it on Melee, you just copy it to clipboard. You bring up your deck here, and then you just have that paste Melee from clipboard. And then you can say, okay, I got Thrawn yellow here. There we go. All right, so we've finished our 8-2 for Yoda. So let's switch the score off. And then let's play a game or two with this Thrawn yellow.
Hello there.
All right, so we've got a Iden Data Vault. So this is kind of where I would really like my let's keep really like my raise and things like that. So we've got a great start against Iden, and that is Krennic with Owen. Do we need Anakin or do we need Morgan Elsbeth? We don't need Chimera. Let's go like that. Let's keep the Chimera and see if we can get a cheeky, like, early attack. Right. Double sneak attacks, unfortunately. If you can't get rid of Owen here, I may just sneak attack a Morgan just to get us a whole bunch of cards. So Liam says he played a couple of good games against it Rose Nabat last night. Is that your deck starting to legit catch interest? Yeah, well, it did quite well at a recent tournament. I think it was 100 players or so. Finished top 8. Played by Carbo, and Carbo is has done quite well with that deck for a while. Man, we kind of got stuck on this one. Let's attack. We'll sneak attack. Forces with me. Defeat another unit. We'll defeat that one there. We need card draw, so let's play the Night Sister Warrior, and we'll trigger again. Just get Night Sister Warrior again. We'll pass. No, it finished. You look on SWU Competitive and you search for Rose. This one here, it finished 5th in a 109 player tournament. And it was Carbo, yeah. So he's been on the KTOD threads for quite a while. So he just passes. He's base for 2. Play Night Sister Warrior out. He gets to draw a card. He's waiting on that. I don't think we've got the punch in this deck to take it out. Like if you look at the deck here, do we have the punch? At top is the sun. I'm not sure. Yeah, against an Iden, 33 is a lot of damage. It's more like 38, 39, given the amount that Iden can heal naturally from her ability, plus cards like Vigilance as well. All right, we're waiting on our opponent. It's a long game already for Iden against an Iden. Even longer if you're going to time out. All right.
Hello there.
Well, at least you're putting your son to work instead of your daughter. Equality and all that. Yeah, well, we just went from a deck with the daughter. Now we're again with the deck with the son. And what I mean by that is that there were significant changes to Yoda. Seemed to work out pretty well. The daughter is in place of Poe, and we brought in Fang Fighters and Bombing Run in replace of the Red Squadron X-Wings there. All right, let's keep. This is good. This is good. They're all pretty good. We want to keep the Bamboozle. And yeah, we're not going to be really fighting too much on the ground, so we'll claim. Again, that's good. Because we can put 2 Night Sister Warriors out again. All right, we probably shouldn't have Resource Chronic. That's unfortunate that we weren't 1 resource up to no glory this card here. All right, the Night Sister Warrior again. All right, we'll claim. All right, sneak attack seems good. All right, so if we play the Legacy Run, we'll kind of put him in an interesting spot here. Because if he kills it, whatever he plays, yeah. All right, let's get rid of the Tyrannus there. I still haven't watched that. Watch the season of The Mandalorian and the recurring music score. Yeah. So the Baddest Batch, though, is a competitive Hearthstone team that I'm part of. So if you look up Baddest Batch on YouTube, you'll see the team there. We stream a lot of the PQs as well. All right, so let's no glory that one. Base. Right, Patrol Fighter. Let's keep hitting base here. Yeah, so look up Baddest Batch on YouTube, and you'll see our competitive team and all of the content that the boys put together. All right, I think we just Chimera, we just double trigger. Let's take an Anakin and trigger again. Take a Morgan because it's got a bit of restore. Yeah, seen those streams? Yeah. Yeah, it's been around for a while. 2, 3, 4, 5. Take 3 there. We'll take the rest on base. We could bamboozle and stop this one here. Let's bamboozle, discard a cunning card, we'll discard a patrol fighter. We'll take the gunship out. Allow our Anakin to take both out at once. So Anakin's going to be able to take out this gunship now too. So we should have a villainy and a heroic. There we go. All right, so we should be able to dispatch here. Yep. All right, so it seems pretty good. We've got the legacy run again, and we've also got a Chimera. You probably kill the Anakin here. Yep. Sneak attack the legacy run in. We'll be able to, we don't need to trigger it twice, and we can just bring Morgan. You can see it's pretty sick, the legacy run. All right, let's. All right, let's hit base for 2. Trigger again. All right, now we got the sun. Unfortunately, we don't have the sneak attack because I think the sun is designed to play with sneak attack. You can just hit base. Everything hits for +2 now. We're going to hit for 12. Yeah. Pretty cool deck, that one. All right, so this is the baddest batch. This one here, so it's the boys, is the team that I'm part of. So if you're not subscribed to this channel, check them out. You can see here's the boys talking about his Clint with his head down. Must be trying to relive his Chirrut experience out in Adelaide, playing Sabine. Here's where we were at Galactic. So they stream mainly the PQs themselves. They will be They won't be streaming Canberra, but they'll be streaming Perth. Onyx will be streaming the Canberra one. And yeah, and then they also do like live games and that as well. All right, so one more game. We'll play one more with this Thrawn Yellow. And that will do tonight. And we're also at the situation of, on my own channel. You can see here, this is the one we're doing now. So I think we're going to leave Yoda green and we're going to move on to Thrawn tomorrow night and see how that stacks up. We've got a great start here. This is like, it's a dream start. Like Krennic into Owen. We've got Night Sister Warrior. We've got Chimera. We've got Shin. I think that's what we resource. We're on the 4 space. He's not. He's just pure red. Alright, so you can be able to run in. He's going to be able to kill Krennic, unfortunately. Play the Night Sister Warrior. So All Things Fade says, when I first saw the Legacy run, I thought it was useless for the cost. Happy to be proven wrong. Yeah, it's quite a cool card. Wow, Krennic. Yeah, let's hit the base again for 2. We can go Krennic in the Karis, and then next turn we can in Chimera one of these. We're going to draw some cards here. All right, let's draw some cards. We'll kill the trooper. I think we need a Legacy run would be really good. Right about now. We don't need another Krennic. Right, let's no glory that one. We'll trigger twice. And then next turn we'll drop Krennic out before we can try and double trigger again. Out of the dark side's kind of useless when he's got this much stuff out. We've also got the patrol fighter here too. Well, we can bounce that platform back out. Right, let's trigger exploit. Let's trigger the Karis and the Owen. Okay, so we can return a non-unit leader. So we'll return the missile platform. Search, we'll give a unit -2/-2. Trigger that. So we hit the Krennic. We didn't get anything. All right, there we go. So we got the sun as well. And then we claim. All right, so we do have a sneak attack on the sun. probably should have hit with the Night Sister Warrior first. But this kind of makes him deal with the sun if he can't. So that sun hit for 8. You can see there the power of a sneak attack sun. Should have won this game for us, yeah. So there we go. A quick 3-0 with a Thrawn yellow. But that's not the deck we'll be playing when I do the next video in this series, which will be Thrawn. So we've got Rey. She's grayed out. That was not a great performance the other night. Yoda, 8-2. We went respectable. Probably could have been 9-1. Next time we'll play Thrawn. And then time after that, we'll play Poe. And then I'll reflect on the 40 matches across those 4 decks. And then pick which one that I'll take to the Canberra PQ. If you have any suggestions or preferences on those decks, then be sure to drop them down in the comments. But other than that, that will do for tonight. And I will see everyone same time tomorrow night, where we will be trying Thrawn Data Vault and seeing if I can improve on my list that was up before pre-Galactics. Okay? All right, well, thanks everyone, and I will catch you next